guys, WWE Fan Talk Show here, bringing you guys a brand new unboxing. Today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new WWE Elite Series 101. Alrighty, so in this video we will be doing an unboxing and review of all 6 figures in the set. This set is freaking stacked, and I might go as far to say that this is more stacked than WWE Elite Series 100. Alright, so starting off with the first figure in the set, we do get the Sonya Deville. This is like an updated Sonya Deville, I guess you could say. I haven't really kept up to date with Sonya Deville, so I'm not exactly sure if this is up to date or not. But it does look like a really good figure and interpretation of Sonya Deville. And then we do get a brand new Ricochet with the updated Intercontinental Championship with this awesome gear he was rocking in his IC title reign. So there's the Ricochet. We do get a brand new, first time in the line, Johnny Knoxville from Jackass. I am probably, aside from the Cody, the most excited for this figure in this set. And then we do get our first time ever Mr. America, aka Hulk Hogan, which looks freaking badass. And then we get the Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kevin Owens, and then the one everybody's looking forward to, Cody Rhodes. Alrighty, so I figured we start this video review off with a banger, the one everybody's looking forward to the most. Let's start things off with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, or as the box says, the America Nightmare, which is a mess up on their part. I don't know how somebody makes a mistake like that and doesn't notice it before they put it out on the box. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe just the person who was in charge of that wasn't a wrestling fan and made that simple mistake. I'm not quite sure. But the Cody Rhodes looks freaking phenomenal inside of the box. We get the WWE logo. There's the top of the packaging. Basically the same packaging we've been seeing for a little bit. It's crazy to see Cody Rhodes' face on a WWE Mattel Elite box just because we just had him in Jazzwares. And then we have Cody on the back, rocking that entrance gear. There's a little description for Rhodes on the back. The rest of the figures in the lineup. All of his stats right there, other side of the box. Without further ado, let's get Cody Rhodes out of the package. So here we have the Cody Rhodes out of the package, and I am so excited to have this figure in hand. And let me tell you, a week ago when they released photos of this, and it was announced a couple days later that they were in stock, initially I had totally forgotten that this Cody Rhodes was an Elite Series 101. So I totally blanked. I forgot, and I got so excited that they were in stock and coming to my house for me to review them because I'm just so excited for this Cody. Hasn't even been a year since he returned, and we already have a figure right here. So taking a look at this Cody Rhodes, one thing that I'm going to point out is that the colors on his tights are a lot more bright on camera than they are in person, so that might be a little deceiving. It's more of like a maroon kind of color on the red parts of it than it is like a bright red, kind of like on the Jazzwares figure. I do prefer these boots for the Cody. I think they're great. Pretty accurate. I do like the logos. And one thing that I do like about this Cody versus the same one we got in the what was it, the Supreme Collection wave for AEW Jazzwares, is that the boots come with this style of boot. You know, it's like all white with his logo, not the giant American flag. I just kind of felt like that was like overdoing it. But this is just a great looking Cody. We get the little chest hair detail. It says Dream on his chest right there. And then we get the double jointed arms with the little wrist tape area. And then his back. And then I really do enjoy this head sculpt as well. It looks just like Cody, in my opinion. I like the texturing and the hair. I think they did a phenomenal job with the Cody. And then I appreciate that they gave him the shredded torso, like the Finn Balor torso. Or I think it actually originated with Cody, so, you know, come full circle right there. But the details on his tights look great. And I'm very excited that he is back as the American Nightmare. Not anything else, it wouldn't be the same. But he does come with some accessories. He does come with a weightlifting belt, which a lot of people are complaining about. They don't like the Mattel version. And I could see why it doesn't come with a buckle, but it fits so much better than the Jazzwares ones. Because the Jazzwares ones fall off so easily, but this sticks on because you have these giant pegs. So if you put it on the figure right here, let's get it on the figure. It goes on fairly easy. Just plug it in. Boom. There we go. And it's not going to fall off. Like the other one was super tight, and if you tried to like articulate the figure, it would pop off. But not with this one. I understand it might look a little goofy from some people's perspectives, but I think it looks good. It's an action figure. It's not supposed to be 100% realistic, in my opinion. So there's the Cody, looking fantastic. He also comes with a pair of fists with the wrist tape and all that jazz. and then some open hands right there for his, I believe that's his entrance, or just mid-match when he's all pumped up. So there's the Cody Rhodes figure right here. I'm curious to see how this ranks in this set. I'm sure it's probably going to be number 1. But before I make him number 1, let's check out the rest of the figures in the set. Next up in the set, we do have the Ricochet, and this figure blows my mind. Not only does he come with the updated Intercontinental Championship, but he comes with this fantastic looking gear with flames and all these yellow lines and straps and all these cool things with the gear. So before we jump into the Ricochet, let's start with his accessories. He does come with the open chopping hands, the open Ricochet hands, with the black wrist tape, which is cool. And then he does come with the Intercontinental Championship right here, which to me, I think it looks really good in some angles. But I do feel like this championship, like whatever plastic they used, I think they like painted gold over black plastic, because this thing gets scratched super easily. And the other one I have in my collection got super scratched up because I accidentally, it fell off my shelf and got all dinged up on the floor. So just look out for that. Be careful with this championship. Next up, we do have the Ricochet, the actual figure right here. Looking so cool. And I think the first thing that people are going to complain about right off the bat is that he is a little bit short. The size is a little bit different than his other figures. But I started thinking about it, and before I complained about it, I tried to look at the positive side of it. I do think that this might be a little bit more accurate than his other figures. Ricochet isn't like a super tall dude, and if you put him next to like a Kevin Owens or even like a Cody right here, I feel like that's accurate. Like, because, you know, I think Ricochet's like, what, 5'8", 5'9", 5'10"-ish. Cody's like 6'1", I believe. So I feel like that's pretty accurate. If I'm wrong, leave it in the comments down below, but I'm not going to complain about it. They did a killer job with this gear, with the flames. I just, look how colorful that is. Like, the entire right leg is like covered in yellow and red flames, and it just looks really nice, and kind of like a Cobra Kai-esque look to it. I'm sure it's not Cobra Kai. I'm sure it's something else, probably like anime. But it does say Ricochet, looking really cool. I love all the designs throughout his gear. Even these little like straps they added in. Like, they totally didn't have to do that, but they did it, which is so sick. There's the back. It might be a Cobra Kai gear. Maybe it's not. Maybe it might be anime. I don't know. I'm not educated in anime, so I wouldn't know. And I do believe this is a newer head sculpt with the smiling smirk on the face of Ricochet. The tattoos look great, and then we do get wrist tape on the wrists. So overall, really great looking Ricochet, especially with the flames and the gear. I think, like, even if we didn't get the Intercontinental Championship, I feel like I would be satisfied with this figure. I love the Intercontinental title, but I think the biggest thing about this figure is just the figure itself, with the new head sculpt and the gear that it came with. Overall, great Ricochet. Now I'm very conflicted on how I'm going to rank this list, because so far the first 2 figures I reviewed are so freaking fantastic. I can just tell from now I'm going to have a hard time ranking this set. Next up, we do have the Mr. America, looking super badass, rocking this red, white, and blue gear. Does come with the Mr. America Terror from the front looking shirt. And he does come with the workout weightlifting belt. It says Mr. America on the back with the bald eagle. Get some nice tears with the details. We got a star. We got some stripes going throughout. We got one knee pad with one star, and then we got stripes on the others. I think the coolest detail about this figure is probably the boots. I love that bald eagle with the flames. Looking so sick. Repping that America looking gear. And then he does come with some cool accessories. He comes with another head sculpt. Instead of the Lucha mask, he comes with a Hulk Hogan head sculpt where he reveals himself. I wasn't sure what the heck this was at first until I got a closer look, but it does look really cool with that crazed look in his eyes. It does come with his entrance gear right here. It is like red mixed with white, and then just one whole blue one. I don't know the names of these. I always want to call them scarves. Leave it in the comments down below. Educate me, please. What the heck do you call these things again? I completely blank on it every single time I review a Hulk Hogan. So we do get those, and then we do get the head sculpt as well as a open. This is like a Mike holding hand, pointer fingers, 2 of those, and then we do get that open Hulk Hogan hand. But this is basically like the same Hulk Hogan that we have seen before, just all new with like the American flag colors. So basically the same body, just different paint job, and it does tear open from the front to reveal the same upper body that we have seen before with Hulk Hogan. So overall, really cool figure. This is one that's just probably the most unique out of this set. And I'm definitely going to be displaying him with the Mr. America head sculpt rather than the Hulk Hogan one. Even though this is pretty unique, I do think that it's just really, I don't know really like to get the right word for how to describe Mr. America. I just think it was silly because it's obviously Hulk Hogan. You could just tell by his boots and his shirt and his workout belt and his mask. I just thought it was a really hilarious time in wrestling. But overall, really cool Mr. America. Let's take a look at the next figures in the set. Next up here, we do have the Kevin Owens. The coolest thing about this Kevin Owens is not only does he come in this regular Kevin Owens WrestleMania 38 gear where he did fight Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it does represent that moment in time where everybody popped for Stone Cold Steve Austin's music on Monday Night Raw, but it turned out it was just Kevin Owens wearing a bald cap and wearing the Austin 316 shirt. Of course, he was wearing jorts with the knee braces, but I guess Mattel wanted us to also have an updated Kevin Owens. This is like their easy way of getting a cool moment in history as well as an updated Kevin Owens. It's like a 2-in-1 type deal. Overall, this is a really cool looking Kevin Owens. I love this new head sculpt. I think it's sitting a little high. Probably need to push it down a little bit more, maybe not. But there we get the shirt right there looking really cool. I do like that shirt a lot. We get the fight pants with the regular boots that we have seen before. I'm not sure if he's gotten more tattoos since we've seen the last Kevin Owens figure. I'm not quite sure. Maybe there's just more colors or something. There's the other arm. There's the back. It says Owens 316 says mine is better than yours. Overall, really cool. We can pop off this head to put on the Stone Cold head sculpt. And as you did see in the package, he was wearing the shirt. So we can slide the shirt. On right here. It says Austin 316. Looking very cool. Like, look how goofy that looks. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was cool when The Miz did that with The Rock. And then to see Kevin Owens do that with Stone Cold was so cool. Little thing I'd like to point out is that I do like this screaming head sculpt a lot, and I really wish that they gave that in a regular Kevin Owens head sculpt. Like, if they made this one the bald one and made that one the one with the hair, I think that would be a lot cooler, just because we've seen plenty of Kevin Owens head sculpts that look like this one. But to get a screaming head sculpt on a Kevin Owens head scan would be super sick for us Kevin Owens collectors. Again, really cool Kevin Owens action figure. Definitely recommend picking it up. Here we have the Johnny Knoxville from WrestleMania 38, where he did take on Sami Zayn, and I'm so excited for this figure. It's so odd and just different. It's weird that we're getting a celebrity in an action figure form, but we do get Johnny Knoxville right here, rocking his pajama-looking gear, and they put a lot of work into this. There's a lot of new sculpting on the pants, as well as these. I think these are John Cena shoes, actually, but they made them look like Chuck Taylors. But we do get some sculpted socks up here, which is pretty nice. We see all the bagginess on his shirt and his pants. All for this one figure. Will probably never be used again. This is all pretty much newly sculpted. So I think that's pretty sick. I think this actually looks pretty much just like Johnny Knoxville. Love that expression. And then we can take these rubber goggles and slide them down. He did wear them in the match. And then on the back it says Johnny Knoxville World Champion. Thought that was kind of odd when he came out with that, but overall really cool. Can take the cape off if you would like to. And then he does come with some, I believe, he comes with some mic holding hands as well. So overall, really cool Johnny Knoxville. I think this is worth the pickup just out of the oddness of the figure. I think it's really odd that they made this figure, but I'm not complaining. I just think it's really cool. And that's the cool thing about this wave. There's a lot of odd and just different things. And this is one of them, is the Johnny Knoxville. So definitely go pick him up. Last in the set, we do get this Sonya Deville, and this is a really cool looking figure. I love all the shiny material. It makes it look like a leathery, shiny, I don't know the material name. Maybe it's leather. Is it leather that has that shiny material? I'm not sure. Leave it in the comments down below if you do know. But I think this is all newly sculpted. I like all the straps on here. We do get some straps on the jacket itself. So that's pretty cool that we're getting that. They put a lot of work into that. I think the head sculpt looks just like Sonya Deville. We do get her boots, which do have ankle pivot, so there we go. Freaking sick. I wish that, I'm not the biggest Sonya Deville fan, so this might not rank too high, but I've been ranking the women's figures lower on the list recently just because of the ankle pivot problem. But this figure has ankle pivot, so I feel bad putting her lower just because I don't really care 100% for Sonya Deville. It's not that I don't like her. It's just they don't really do a lot with her. I don't know. I don't like the management stuff. I think that her wrestling stuff is entertaining, and I wish they would do more with her. But you can take this cloth jacket off. Might be a little hard to do that. Oh, wait. Never mind. You can take it off, and we get to see all of her cool tattoos. Looking really cool. I don't know what they mean, but they do look really cool. So glad we got that detail. I'm just really fascinated with all the cool straps and stuff that are sculpted on here, as well as the shininess, the two-tone. I think that's really cool that they added that. I wish they would have done that with the Seth Rollins from SummerSlam. I know they did a basic of that Seth Rollins where he fought Brock Lesnar, and he wore that two-tone black gear where there was no other colors except for black, but it was two-tone black. So there was shiny parts, but then matte parts. I wish they created that in Elite form. Not a lot of people talk about that gear still to date, but that's honestly low-key one of my favorite Seth Rollins gears, even though it's one of the most plain. It's just really interesting. But there we do get this Sonya Deville looking really cool, and I think that it's long overdue that we get an updated figure of her. And then we get some fists right here as well. This should go well with the new Mandy Rose figure. For those of you that did pick that Mandy Rose figure up, it would be cool to display her with that Mandy Rose. Of course, Mandy Rose is not in the company anymore, so that figure might go for a lot now. If you do manage to pick it up at Ringside Collectibles, I definitely would. Alrighty, so let's rank these figures from least to greatest. Starting at the bottom, I think you all know what I'm going to put at the bottom. It's not because it's a terrible figure, it's just because out of the figures in the set, it's my least favorite. And I'm going to go with Sonya Deville. It's not a terrible figure. I think it's one of the best women's figures we've gotten in some time. And I wish I could put her higher on the list, but the rest of the figures in this set just got me super excited. And next up on the list, I'm going to give it to the Kevin Owens. And you're probably all surprised too, why am I putting this Kevin Owens second to last? And that's just because I think the rest of the figures are more interesting. No, maybe not they're more interesting. I think this is a cool Kevin Owens, and I like the concept of having a 2-in-1 figure theme, especially with Stone Cold. But I think that the rest of the figures in the set just got me super pumped and excited. Which leads me to the next figure in the set. I'm going to give it to Mr. America. I do like a lot of the details on here, and the reason why I put this over Kevin Owens is just because I think it's super unique, and I never expected to have a Mr. America in my collection, and we do. And it's probably one of my favorite Hulk Hogan figures, now that I say it. I just think it's really cool. I do got to fix that knee right there. It has a little bowed. Just heat it up, maybe put it under some hot water. But overall, really cool Mr. America. Which brings me to the next figure. I'm going to give it to Johnny Knoxville. I think that this is one of the figures I was most excited for just because it's Johnny Knoxville. And it's so weird that we're getting a Johnny Knoxville in the Mattel line. What the heck? I bet he's so pumped to get an action figure of his own. I want somebody... You know how Johnny Knoxville has Jackass? Somebody should do some Jackass pick feds with Johnny Knoxville. I know people have their pick feds. Have Johnny Knoxville go through a actual flaming table. That would be insane. And have him completely burnt. That would be so sick. Somebody should do that. Putting it out there right now. Please do that. Now, down to number 1 and number 2. Or number 2 and number 1. I am going to give number 2 to Ricochet and number 1 to the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Even though I feel like the Cody Rhodes colors could be a little bit more vibrant, I do realize that this is the first Cody figure we're getting in Mattel in a very, very, very long time. And it's hard to believe that he has gotten other Mattel figures in the past. Actually, I think the only Elite Rhodes I ever got was a Stardust. And I think it's the same pant mold as this. So I think that's pretty interesting. But the Ricochet is really fantastic. It's hard to put him under Cody Rhodes. I mean, it wasn't hard to put him under Cody Rhodes. It was hard to not put him at number 1. If it was any other figure other than Cody Rhodes in this set, Ricochet would be number 1. One thing holding this figure back that I forgot to mention is the weird kick pad mold. I know people are going to complain about that. I'm just awaiting it to happen. But overall, really cool set. I definitely recommend picking this set up. To me, this set blows Elite 100 out of the water. If you did not check that video out, make sure to go check it out. It is one of my most recent videos. But Elite 101 is already just a million times better than Elite 100. Make sure to go to Ringside Collectibles and use discount code Tanner, TANNER, all caps, to save 10% at checkout. If you do manage to get your hands on a Cody Rhodes, make sure to go to Ringside Collectibles and check to see if they're in stock. If they are in stock, it's probably smart that you pick one up and use discount code Tanner before they are sold out. I do believe that this set is in stock right now, so go check it out. Try to get as many of these figures as you possibly can, because I think this set is just going to freaking fly off the shelves, and it's going to fly off of Ringside Collectibles in stock status. So make sure to go to Ringside Collectibles, check it out. Again, this Cody Rhodes is so cool. We have a Cody Rhodes in Mattel again. He's in WWE. I am so freaking pumped. Leave it in the comments down below your top 6 or least to greatest list ranking for this set. Again, my number 1 is Cody Rhodes, and at the bottom it is Sonya Deville, which is totally fine. Leave it in the comments down below how pumped you are for Cody Rhodes returning to WWE and potentially the Royal Rumble today. Thanks for watching, guys. WWE Fan Talk Show out.